So yesterday I said I'd share how to ensure that your story is different to the thousands of memoirs being pitched on those 4 universal themes we talked about. And this is when you need to find a hook for your story, the most compelling entry point, and the difference between your story and thousands of others on similar topics, stories, and themes. And this is where you might actually decide that no, you don't want to publish a memoir. It's when you realise that memoir is tough, much tougher than fiction, for a reason, not just to write, but to pitch, because you must reveal your most personal and vulnerable aspect here. Memoir authors must get vulnerable. They also must be highly observant of both themselves and the wider human experience, and have that ability to separate the universal from what makes your personal story different. Let me explain. So you need to show in this pitch why you are the best person to write about this universal theme, and that the stakes are high for you in particular. And this is where pitching memoir is like pitching fiction. There has to be something big at stake for there to be a compelling story. And it's usually actually to be found in those really personal, painful moments, the ones that you don't really examine closely or openly because, well, they hurt. And we don't expose our hurt to strangers. And this is why memoir is so hard to write, much harder than fiction and pitch. So to find this hook that's essential to your pitch, go down a step further from the themes and identify the weirdest, most compelling, contrasting, or timely detail that happened in your story. Really find a time when the issue or theme you're exploring was at its peak, when you could have gone one way or another, when so much was at stake. People read stories because they want to see a transformation and marvel at your heroic ability to navigate this theme that they also experience as a human. But your hook really clearly identifies how your transformation will be different and what the story is about. I'll give you an example from a best-selling memoir, Love Warrior by Glennon Doyle Melton. And this memoir, in this hook the hook there was that her husband of many years was cheating on her. Instead of getting divorced, she recommitted to her marriage. So straight away, you know what the strange or unique aspect is. Often to find our hook, we need to tell people the premise of the story and see what makes them say, hang on, what? I found this with writing the pitch for A Letter from Paris. I was focused on the diaries found in the library, the email from Coralie, and it wasn't until I realised I needed to include the fact that I basically know nothing about my late father's commando posting, life in post-war London, 8 years in Paris, until a complete stranger contacted me at age 36. So that's a strange detail, which I have to be honest, I didn't see until I'd shared the events of the story with a few people who knew me. So they knew what was missing. So it's important to test a few versions of your pitch to see what you're missing, because often with our personal stories, the weirdest thing is something we take for granted because we've lived with it all our lives. It's a blind spot. Okay, so now you've got your relatable universal theme, the transformation, and your hook. Your street's ahead. But there's just one final piece to writing a best-selling memoir pitch, and this is going to help you write a better story and help an agent or publisher see if it has the potential to hit the bestseller list. I'll share this in the next video tomorrow, and there's a little hello from my cat, and I'll see you there.